Have you ever wondered what happens when you cross a bumblebee with a bomb? You get a B-25 Mitchell bomber, arguably one of the most important medium bomber aircraft of the World War II Pacific. And what happens when you introduce a squadron of those bumblebees to a pilot who thinks flying blindfolded with nothing but steam gauges and grit is a good idea and everyone should do it? Today's video is about James Harold Doolittle, aka the Mad Colonel, and his B-25 bombers. It's 1942 and the United States is still licking its wounds over the Pearl Harbor attack.
So what's with all the bits of plastic?
Oh, it's a model of a B-25 Mitchell bomber. That's what started this whole thing. I like building models and I wanted to learn about this one.
Hold up. You built a model of this, like a model train?
Yeah, you know, trains, planes, and automobiles. It's why I'm calling this model history.
Oh, I get it. You failed to launch after 12 years old.
Look, can we just get back to the story?
Yeah, I guess. It's just a little confusing. We'll see where this goes.
On December 7th, 1941, Japan's surprise assault on Hawaii's naval base killed over 2,400 Americans, sank or damaged 21 ships, and dragged the U.S. into World War II. It was a gut punch that left the nation reeling. Morale's in the gutter. Think of a country stuck in a collective doom scroll, desperate for a win.
Oh my God.
America needs to hit Japan back. Not just a jab, but a haymaker that says we're still in this fight. Enter Jimmy Doolittle, a guy who's basically the human equivalent of a firecracker with a PhD. This dude's resume reads like a brag reel. Speed record setter, stunt pilot, inventor of blind flying. And yeah, he figured out how to fly without seeing a damn thing, which is frankly unfair to the rest of us mortals. He got a doctorate in aeronautical engineering from MIT because apparently he wasn't busy enough breaking the laws of physics. At the age of 45, he's not some young hotshot. He's a seasoned beast who looks at danger and says, "You call that a challenge?"
Hold up. You're saying this guy's out here flying blind and writing textbooks? Was he allergic to relaxing?
Are you allergic to badass? Doolittle didn't do relaxing. He was born to make gravity cry uncle, and the Navy knew he was the only one crazy enough to pull off their wild plan. Let's rewind to Jimmy's roots. Born in 1896 in Alameda, California, he grew up in Nome, Alaska, a harsh frontier.
Oh, Alaskans. Crazy bastards.
Yeah, we're gonna keep this cleanish, Duke.
Bastions of resiliency. That's probably where he learned to stare down blizzards and bears before breakfast.
As a kid, he was scrappy. He boxed as an amateur, even won a few bouts, which explains why he tackled problems like they owed him money. He studied engineering at UC Berkeley, then joined the Army Signal Corps in 1917 to fly in World War I, though he spent it stateside as an instructor. Between wars, he became a stunt pilot, racing planes and pulling stunts that made crowds gasp and insurance agents quit. In 1922, he flew coast to coast in under 24 hours, a first. By 1930, he was setting airspeed records and developing instrument flying, which revolutionized aviation. This guy wasn't just living, he was rewriting the whole rulebook. Now, in 1942, with America needing a hero, Doolittle's the man to lead a mission so bold it's practically a middle finger to Japan. The Navy's plan is straight up bonkers. They want to launch B-25 Mitchell bombers off the USS Hornet, fly 400 miles to bomb Tokyo and other Japanese cities, then keep going to land in China, an ally thanks to the war's tangled alliances. The goal? Not to level Japan. 16 bombers can't do that, but to land a psychological blow. Show Japan their homeland isn't untouchable. Force them to pull their defenses back and give America a morale boost like a shot of whiskey after a bar fight. The raid's a one-way trip. There's no turning back to the carrier. Oh, and the Hornet's deck is 625 feet long, which is shorter than a high school track. Launching heavy bombers off that, it's like trying to get a semi-truck to go airborne from your driveway.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Just to be clear, bombers are huge. They need thousands of feet of runway to get going. Aircraft carriers are also huge, but not huge enough for bombers to launch off. Did they just forget how boats work?
No, Doolittle knew. Carriers were built for zippy fighters, not B-25s. He just didn't think it mattered. He and the Navy rigged this like a heist movie, and the B-25 was the key to the whole caper. The B-25 Mitchell was a beast of an aircraft named after aviation pioneer Billy Mitchell. It's a twin-engine medium bomber, about 53 feet long, with a 67-foot wingspan, weighing around 20,000 pounds empty. So what made it perfect for this mission? Versatility and grit. It could carry enough fuel for the 2,000-mile trip, haul a 2,000-pound bomb load, and take off in a ridiculously short distance if you pushed it hard enough. Doolittle's team stripped the planes to the bone, yanked out heavy radios, swapped extra guns for broomsticks to fake out enemies, and crammed in extra fuel tanks. They trained for weeks, practicing short takeoffs on land because no one had ever launched B-25s off a carrier before. The plane wasn't just a tool, it was a gamble that Doolittle turned into a winning hand.
Okay, you like the plane. The plane is cool. Tell us about the raid now.
April 18th, 1942, the Hornet is steaming through rough seas carrying 16 B-25s and 80 men who are probably questioning their life choices. Doolittle's in the lead plane, setting the tone like a general riding into battle on a flaming horse. The plan's to launch 400 miles from Japan, but a Japanese patrol boat spots them 650 miles out, forcing an early takeoff.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
That extra 250 miles is a death sentence for fuel. It's like running a marathon, then hearing the finish line's been moved to another county. Doolittle doesn't flinch. At 8:20 a.m., he revs his engines, stares down that tiny deck, and takes off, clearing the bow with inches to spare. The other 15 planes follow, each crew pulling off a miracle. Navigator Carl Wildner recalculated routes on the fly. Pilots like Ted Lawson kept their planes steady despite howling winds. Every man's a hero, from gunners scanning for enemy fighters to engineers praying the fuel holds.
Wait, they launched early with no extra fuel? Were they planning to glide to China on good vibes?
Nah, Duke, they had Doolittle's guts and some math wizards in the back. Yeah, the tension was tighter than a drum, and the margin for error, well, there was no margin for error. It was either gonna work or, well, it was gonna work because Jimmy Doolittle was wearing plot armor and he's the main character of his own story.
You serious?
The crews fly low, 50 feet off the waves, to dodge radar, skimming the ocean like they're racing jet skis. They hit Tokyo, Nagoya, Osaka, and Kobe, dropping bombs on factories, oil tanks, and military targets. It's not about destruction, it's about shock. Japan's been untouchable, smug behind their moat of an ocean. Suddenly, American planes are buzzing their cities, dropping payloads and vanishing. Doolittle's plane hits Tokyo at noon, right when Japan least expects it. Civilians look up stunned as bombs fall. The raid's light on damage. 16 planes can't really raise a city, but they're heavy on impact. Japan's forced to rethink their whole defense strategy. They pull fighters back from the front lines. After the bombs drop, the real fight begins, getting to China. With fuel gauges screaming empty, most planes crash land in fields or along the coast, while some crews bail out into the night. Doolittle's plane ditches in a rice paddy and he parachutes into a field, landing in what he later calls a very undignified manure pile. The crews scatter, relying on Chinese locals and guerrillas to evade Japanese patrols. Ted Lawson's crew, battered after crashing, gets smuggled through villages by Chinese farmers, risking their lives. Of the 80 men, 69 survive. 3 men die in crashes, 8 are captured, 4 dying in captivity, and 1 crew lands in Soviet territory. The Chinese pay a brutal price when Japan retaliates, killing an estimated 250,000 civilians in reprisal. The crew's escape is a testament to grit and allies who stepped up when it counted.
Damn, that's a lot of folks down, from all sides. That's some heavy stuff. How'd Doolittle not lose it?
He almost did. He thought he'd failed because he lost all 16 planes, but failure wasn't in his DNA. The raid's results were game changers. Japan, humiliated, diverted resources to guard their homeland, weakening their Pacific campaigns. For America, it was a shot of adrenaline. Newspapers screamed headlines, families glued to radios cheered. The raid proved the U.S. could strike back, boosting morale. Doolittle, expecting a court-martial for losing the planes, got the Medal of Honor instead, pinned on by President Franklin Roosevelt himself. It was like flunking a final and getting handed an Oscar. The other 79 raiders got distinguished flying crosses, cementing their place as heroes. Doolittle's legacy is bigger than one raid. He led air campaigns in North Africa, Europe, and the Pacific, rising to lieutenant general. His innovations in aviation, blind flying, high-octane fuel shaped modern flight. He retired in 1959, but stayed a legend, living to 96 years old, passing away in 1993.
Inconceivable!
The Tokyo Raid, though, is his defining moment. It wasn't just a military win, it was a statement. America doesn't back down. Jimmy Doolittle and his crew, pilots, navigators, gunners, all of them showed what happens when courage meets crazy. They made history and they knew it, even as it was unfolding around them.
They didn't just make history, they grabbed it by the bob.
Kids might be watching.
They grabbed it by the throat and made it salute.
So next time you're facing long odds, think of Doolittle staring down that little flight deck and just go for it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Jack and Duke out.